and welcome to the board meeting on May 21st, 2020. I'm Shannon Clark, your facility supervisor, and I will be touching base on a few different items. I'd like to go over what we did in spring break, during the COVID-19 stay-at-home order, and our summer facilities list. I want to touch base first on the spring break. Our staff worked extremely hard in facilities, making sure that every classroom was touched with our e-sprayer. During this process, we used a Husky 892 disinfectant, which kills a number of viruses, including the norovirus. The CDC seems to think that this also kills the norovirus, so that's what we're going to continue to use in our classrooms. The kibosh is used in our Kivac machine. We do the bathrooms with this machine. It's a no-touch cleaning process. We bought that early on, and we love it. We are in the process of purchasing 4 more e-sprayers. One of them is going to be a little bit larger for the middle school so that we can cover a larger area of space in a very short period of time, so that when we return, we have these available for us. I wanted to let you know that we are doing everything we can to make sure that these buildings are clean and ready for the safety of the students and the staff. So with that being spring break and not returning, we went into COVID-19 stay-at-home order. For the first week, most of my staff stayed home. The second week, we ended up coming back to work and working a limited schedule, working 6 hours a day. We are now back to working our full 10-hour days, Monday through Friday, and I will be here on Fridays. First, let's touch base with Pleasant Acres. Pleasant Acres, if you have an opportunity to stop by there and take a look at the vestibule, I would encourage you to do so. Here's why. We ended up putting FRP from the ceiling to the floor to cover up the space and make it look more uniform and welcoming. We also decided to strip the floor, put the epoxy down with the blue and white chips, and then we sealed that with some wax 3 times. In the future, this small space will save us a little bit of money because we are not going to have to strip and wax this floor every year like we currently do in the rest of the building. We're going to have to be able to do this every 2 to 3 years now instead of every 1. Long term, I would like to see the entire building done, but that's in the future. So once we have monies available, maybe we can touch on that subject again. We have painted 6 classrooms over the COVID-19 stay-at-home order. 2 or 3 rooms are currently completely ready for the school year, which I'm excited about already. Fire alarm panel upgrade. We upgraded their fire alarm panel to an addressable system. However, we were not able to do the devices to change them over to audio visual at this time. This was part of the 10-year Health Life Safety Plan. Also on the 10-year Health Life Safety Plan, we are in the process of installing an exhaust fan in the teacher's lounge. Moving on to East Lawn, we also used some FRP over there to freshen up the hallways, but we only covered the tile like we did in the main entryway. Brone Russo was able to come in and do that during the COVID-19 stay-at-home order with limited staff in our buildings. So we're ahead of the game. That was one of our summer projects, and now it has been completed. The fire alarm panel over there has been changed out to an addressable system. The audio-visual devices also are part of that upgrade. They got the whole new package. So that was part of the 10-year Health Life Safety, and is still in the process of doing that. Johnson Controls and Simplex are still in the process of doing that. However, it will be completed before the summer is done. Not sure if you've driven by the south parking lot lately, but over the winter break, we discovered while plowing that we had a sinkhole in that south driveway, right where the parents are dropping off the students to the main entryway. So what we did is we called in a company, they raised that space for us, and we ended up putting a flush manhole cover back on there so that we're not hitting it with our plow and damaging that area again. Moving on to Broad Meadow, we have an exhaust fan that's being installed in the teacher's lounge per our 10-year Health Life Safety. They have also got 5 or 6 rooms ready for the next school year. They have done some painting. They've also done some repair work in the bathrooms on the stall walls. Moving on to Ader, we replaced the main hall doors with the frames and the hardware. This was part of the Health Life Safety 10-year plan. All of those doors are completed except for a few with the new locks. We painted all the hallway fire doors to freshen up the look. The library, all the furniture was cleaned. The carpets were shampooed already. They've painted custodial closet shelving to freshen them up, make them look nice. And then right before spring break, we discovered I was called down to the 6th grade hallway for a urinal that continued to overflow. And as I walked in, I noticed that the smell was not a smell that I would want my children walking into. Did a little bit of investigative work, realized that the exhaust fans were not working at that time. So I called in somebody and they looked at them and they were the original fans. So I went ahead and had them replace those because we do need working exhaust fans in our restrooms. Over at Northview, the gym, we installed a new climbing wall for the children. The principal purchased that, and we were glad to install that for her. There have been 4 classrooms painted so far. They have cleaned out their shed. They have serviced their mower. They also cleaned up the fence line. At Central Office, we have a new administrative suite. We have a superintendent's office, assistant superintendent's office. We also have a conference meeting space, and we will have a file room in there. One of our staff, custodial staff, is now doing the drywall work in there and making sure it's all mud and taped for us so that we can get painting. We started, our maintenance guys started converting all of the light fixtures over to LED for a cost savings at Central Office. We also installed plexiglass for Hannah and Christy's safety because they are on the front line here at Central Office. We installed a new door and hardware over at the warehouse. And that's about all we've done so far. As you can see on the list of things that you were given, we have done much more, but I just didn't feel I needed to read all of those to you. Moving on to our summer break projects. We are in the process of doing a lot of restorative work right now. Our main focus is the classrooms, bathrooms, locker rooms, if allowed. We'll be installing plexiglass where needed for the security and safety of the secretaries when they come back. The kitchen equipment, we have turned off a lot of that stuff in hopes that we're not running without food in them all summer long. We're trying to do some preventative maintenance on all of the equipment as well in all of the buildings. The parking lots, we're going to be patching those as well. We will be doing that ourselves this year to save some money. Central Office, we plan on taking the court or the fence down next to the building that's next to the courts. We'd like to add some new signage and some landscaping to this place as well. Broad Meadow, we'd like to paint some gutters, do some landscaping. We do have a water furnace heat pump that needs to be repaired over there in the gym, so we will be working on that. It's kind of a priority. East Lawn, we are going to be finishing the office remodel. We have some gutters and downspouts that need to be repaired, and we're getting a new sidewalk and entryway into that building. Northview, we're going to add some LED lighting replacement to the exterior lights, and we are going to paint 5 rooms. At Pleasant Acres, we're adding a new door and a push-button entry for the safety of the secretaries. We're going to do a little bit of landscaping, and we also have a water furnace heat pump that needs to be repaired over there in the gym as well. At Ader, we have 4 or 5 classrooms that we would like to paint. I didn't list but 2, but they keep coming in, so we're going to roll with that as they come in. Ader, the back parking lot, I'm not sure if you noticed, driving through, we took down that small fence that was back there by the 6th grade hallway, so we need to patch those areas, and then we're going to repaint or restripe that parking lot for more parking for staff. At First Student, we need to add a concrete step for their main entryway. This was due to a insurance walkthrough that happened this last school year, and we'd like to get that taken care of so that we can report back that we're being compliant. Also, some LED lighting replacement is in need over there, so we will be taking care of that over the summer. I'd like to end with saying this. If we do not come back to our regularly scheduled school year for 2020-21, I wanted to let you know that because of the money situation, we will only be doing small projects ourselves this next school year if the rest of the staff has to stay at home. One of the main things that I would like to see happen is I would like to get Pleasant Acres completely painted, all the 3 walls that need to be painted in every classroom. So far we have 6 completed. I think we need to roll with that, and then we'll move on to the next school. If you have any questions about anything that we are doing or concerns, please let us know. I will have my phone on and ready for any questions during this board meeting. Feel free to give me a call. Thank you, and please stay safe.